All right, I am here, Star Wars The Old Republic, and I'm here with Steve Reed, Community Manager of Bioware, and he's gonna answer some of our questions that our fans wanna know. And right now, I am totally impressed by the graphics, first of all. I've been waiting a long time to play this game. This is a happy day for me. Now, you said you said it's mostly voiceovers. It's all voice over.
Yeah, we're actually the first fully voiced MMO. So every single quest giver in the game has a full voiceover, and that's in 3 languages. That's in English, French, and German, depending on which language you want to play in. So in this case, we've arrived on the planet of Korriban. You're playing a Sith warrior. So right at the beginning, you end up in a conversation with this man here, Overseer Trammell, and he sort of explains to you that you've come here to take the trials of the Sith to see if you're worthy. And just like every other Bioware game, we have this conversation wheel where you get to make choices. You can sort of make good, neutral, and bad choices. They kind of vary. They're not always good and they're not always bad.
Wait, would that kind of like affect like other quests you could get? I mean, would it affect like your alignment? Like say you become more evil or more good?
It absolutely affects your alignment. Just like in Knights of the Old Republic, we have light side and dark side points. So if you consistently make choices that are essentially good and bring you towards the light side, then you become more light side. If you make consistently bad choices, then you become more dark side.
Oh, I like that. I like that, man.
The cool thing about that is it's not set by the faction that you choose. We have 2 factions, the Republic and the Empire. If you're Empire, you don't have to be evil. You can be essentially the light side Sith. So, and by reverse, if you play a Jedi, you can play a dark Jedi if you want to. So you can make those choices yourself and have your own personal experience.
I was noticing also you could actually choose to make it so that the chat appears above their head, like in the quests, like or the chat logs appear.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're, to be honest, if you're deaf,
that's how I have it set right now, right?
Yeah,
the chat
you come to a conversational choice here. So,
but that's an option we just enabled.
Yeah, exactly. So you make that choice. Your character is fully voiced as well as the NPC. And then you go through the dialogue. As you can see here, we have the subtitles enabled. It's kind of loud here at the show, so you can certainly use subtitles if you're hard of hearing, for example. But obviously, we have full voiceover for all the characters. So we have these amazing performances by some pretty well-known actors in some cases, which really bring the game to life and they just make it so much more compelling than the average MMO where you're sitting there reading loads and loads of text all the time. Here you get to be active in the conversation, you get to say things, you get to mouth off to other NPCs. And one brilliant aspect to this is we have a system called multiplayer conversation. So when you're in a group with other people, you all get to talk in conversation with NPCs. And the way it works is everybody makes their dialogue choice and then there is a random roll, and whoever wins the roll gets the highest number. They are the one who gets to speak. So it's a lot of fun when you're playing with your friends because like you could be playing light side, he could be playing dark side, and if he makes the dark side choice then and wins the roll, then the NPC might be offended by what he says and you're like, why did you say that to the guy? He wasn't doing anything nasty, but that's just the way that multiplayer conversations play out. Although an important thing to note is that you don't get to grief anyone during multiplayer conversations. If you're playing what we call the World Arc quest, which is everyone's got these quests and they're shared, then anything can happen. But if you're playing a class quest, and we have 8 individual class stories in the game, then you, as the owner of the class quest, you get to make the crucial decisions. So your personal story is never messed up by other people in your group.
Now, wait, I have a really important question. I know my fans want to know this. What is the grind going to be like, and what is the max level?
So the max level is 50, that's where we're starting, and we really have made an effort to make sure that the story carries you all the way to the final levels of the game. So it's important to notice this, that we have 8 different character classes and each one of them has a completely unique story. So if you play through as the Sith warrior and then you choose to play through on the other side on the Republic and you play through as a Jedi Knight, your story is totally 100% different. Different quests, you go to similar planets and things like that, but you get a completely different storyline. So that's your personal class quest, which is probably, we've been saying 100 plus, maybe 200 hours of gameplay, depending on how fast you go through. Then in addition to that, we have everything you'd expect from an MMO. So we have flashpoints, which are kind of our version of dungeons. We have operations, which are our versions of raids. We of course have PvP, we've got war zones, and we've got open world and all that sort of stuff as well.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. If you're going to have war zones, that type of thing, are you going to have competitive play? with a ranking system?
We haven't really been talking about that yet. You know, we have got 3 war zones that we're going to be shipping with, and we're going to be talking a bit more about PvP soon and giving a few more details. But we like to think that PvP is pretty entertaining. We've had a lot of people enjoying it.
What's the focus going to be? Is it going to be more PvE or more PvP?
I think BioWare's, you know, strength and our, you know, what BioWare's best known for is story. So I think it's fair to say we're a bit more focused on PvE. But we haven't neglected PvP at all. We've got some great PvP designers who've come from other MMOs where they've had a lot of experience doing PvP. So we're spending a lot of time in it, trying to make sure it's balanced and, you know, it feels right, and that it's a lot of fun to run around, you know, killing people with lightsabers.
Do you see like, do you see it in like MLG competitions and stuff like that, or is that something?
Possibly, you never know. We're not really focused on that, but it could happen.
Yeah, there was one more question for you. I wanted to know, is the PvP? We ask a lot of people. We're PvP guys.
Okay.
I want to know, is the PvP going to be more balanced on a 1 versus 1 or in group play?
So we have dueling, you know, 1 versus 1, but we're not really balancing for that. We are balancing more for the war zones and for the open world. So the classes, we've essentially tried to balance the classes against each other. So each of them has kind of a mirror, like the Jedi Knight and the Sith Warrior are very similar in gameplay styles, although you can still spec them out in particular ways. You also have an advanced class that you get to choose. So for example, the Jedi Knight, you can choose an advanced class of a Guardian, which is kind of more of your traditional damage-soaking, you know, tanking kind of class, or a Sentinel, which is more of, it uses 2 lightsabers, and the Sentinel is more of a traditional damage-dealing, high-damage kind of a class. So you can specialize in those 2 advanced classes. Then you can also choose from 3 different skill trees, and you can put points in there as well. So you end up basically, you can have a very different Guardian from, you know, 2 different people can have different kind of Guardians, for example, or 2 different kinds of Sentinels. But yeah, in terms of balancing, yeah, we're kind of more doing it for a group, you know, especially in PvP.
All right, I'd like to thank Reed for showing us the Star Wars: The Old Republic, and we're definitely going to come back and we're going to play this a lot. I really want to see this gameplay. Athene, we're here at the Razer booth and we're checking out hands-on super secret stuff.
A prototype.
It's a prototype. Star Wars: The Old Republic keyboard, mouse pad. Now I know this. This is the wireless. Hold on a second. Dude, it looks amazing. You check that out?
It almost looks like a ship.
It looks amazing and it feels amazing. Hands on. All right, Alvin. We're here with Alvin. Can you tell us a little bit about the keyboard?
Keyboard design, according to Star Wars Universe artwork. Basically, the main focus of the keyboard is the Switchblade user interface you see right here. Basically, it has 10 adaptive tactile keys. The keys were first shown on the Switchblade, which actually you can switch. It actually adapts to whatever environment you're in. The bottom has a 3.05-inch LCD track panel. It doubles up as a screen as well. So it actually changes the way you play the game. You can actually program macros, and I'm sure you're familiar with macros, right, Swifty? So you can actually program macros and assign them to keys, and you add an icon in. So there's a visual cue for you to actually, you know, trigger.
Well, right now here are the skills that would show up in Star Wars: The Old Republic.
That's an example.
Now it's going to be like the Switchblade, where if you use a skill, the actual cooldown shows up on it. Like it dims down and it lights up when
maybe in the future something will happen like that. But for now, we only have mapping for pictures to your macros.
Yeah.
So it's basically what you've been doing all this while, but you can actually add an icon in there. So.
And it will work for other games besides Star Wars: The Old Republic.
I mean,
right?
you can use. I mean, macros are used over all the games, any game you want to play. So you can basically do anything.
And like the screen here, what is it used for?
Currently, this is in its trackpad mode. So currently, you can use it as a touchpad. You know, like how you use in laptops, but we actually optimize it for gaming. So there's 1-finger gestures, 2-finger gestures. And
okay, here's the right and left click.
Yeah, so
mouse
it's,
click button.
It doubles up as a secondary display screen as well. So I mean, if you go to modes like this, you know, you can have trackpad, browser, like media player, and so on and so forth. Like if I'm going to press a it's a numpad right now, so we can use this as a display screen.
Oh,
yeah. So there's a lot of functionality.
And can you actually like calculate on that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a touch screen as well. Yeah. But this is a prototype, so I mean, this is not fully working yet, but that's what they're trying to show.
So you have to admit the design looks amazing, and these colors you can customize it too.
Yeah, 16 million colors.
I find this badass. It's a touch screen.
Yeah.
So basically, like, can you have a game playing here and playing like like
in,
iPhone games, for example?
Yeah, because we're going to open our SDK to developers in the future. So hopefully they will adopt SDK and create some applications for this. Maybe in the future, hopefully Blizzard will do it.
So you're gonna
right here.
So basically, what you're actually saying is that you'll have like the entire cell phone upcoming gaming industry is going to be able to be played on this keyboard if it's possible.
Yeah, if it's possible. I mean, if people use the SDK for things, but we're just opening up to public and hopefully see what they're going to do with it.
And what about this? This is for
that's awesome.
Okay, we got the Republic. But you can switch this around, right?
Yeah, you can basically pop it up from the back. So we'll swap. The side's gonna be good guy, bad guy kind of.
Good guy, good guy, bad guy.
Have feel the mouse mat is pretty heavy.
Yeah,
so
it's really heavy.
Steel based mouse mat, so it's a rubber feet. It's really sturdy.
Yeah,
You can try the mouse mat.
Whoa! Yes,
It's really smooth.
crazy.
Yeah, it feels nice,
You
man.
can see it like gliding off it.
Yeah, this really feels nice.
Dude, this is something I've been trying to see for the past couple days, and finally today I was able to see it. I'm super excited, dude.
It's just awesome. Like these are like images, right? It doesn't interact like the screen.
What do you mean?
Like it's not like you can send like visual data from the computer to those, right?
It's actually it goes through the computer as part of the drivers.
So basically, like if you're a really good programmer, you might like, for example, if I play League of Legends, send those icons to this.
I mean that is for the future. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you never know.
But I really like the development. It's going that way.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I want to thank Alvin. Thank you for showing us the Star Wars Old Republic keyboard.
Thanks
the whole
for
set.
showing us the
We forgot the.
Always a bit on your neck all the time. Yeah. So this is a 5.1 virtual surround sound headset. Basically, it comes with a circumaural design, and you had it on your neck all this while, and you forgot it was there. So it's pretty lightweight.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
nice.
and you see cool
I think that just the entire set together is like the craziest looking set. I know I want it.
I'm not so much. I'm not so much for the looks. I'm more always like practical
functionality,
and
right?
functionality. And I have to say, like, this is really amazing. It's a breakthrough. I've never seen that before. And like, this is also amazing. Like, I like how I've never had such a smooth mouse. I haven't been able to test the sound, so I
Try it on. It's not plugged in though. Just try for a few.
This feels good.
Like this.
You guys have some of the best equipment.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees on that. So yeah.
Thank you, Alvin. This
Thanks.
is awesome, man. This is a privilege to be here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good to have you guys.